So, what if I told you that building real, lasting wealth, it's not really about luck or timing or even pulling in a massive paycheck. It's actually about something way more fundamental. It's a set of powerful habits that, honestly, anyone can master. And today, we're going to break them down, step by step.
I mean, let's face it. Right now, with inflation and all the uncertainty in the world, trying to build wealth can feel, well, it can feel like you're trying to climb a mountain in the middle of a storm. But here's the good news. If you've got the right gear and a clear map, and by that I mean the right habits, that summit is absolutely 100% reachable.
And this right here, this gets to the absolute core of it. See, it's not your job title that's going to decide your financial future. Nope. It's the small, consistent things you do day in and day out. Think of your habits as the compass. They're the ones that are going to decide where you end up.
All right, so every great climb has to start with a solid base camp, right? Before we even think about going up, we've got to build a secure foundation. And these first habits we're going to talk about, they are completely non-negotiable.
Okay, this first one, this is the bedrock. It's the absolute foundation. And the key word here, the one that matters most, is before. That's right. Before you pay your rent, before you buy groceries, before any of those streaming subscriptions, you're making a choice to prioritize your future self first. It sounds like such a simple little shift in order, but trust me, it changes everything.
And this quote, man, it just perfectly nails the why, doesn't it? Think about it. When you pay all your bills first, what are you really doing? You're funding your landlord's dreams, the grocery store's bottom line, the phone company's expansion. When you pay yourself first, you make sure that you are the #1 beneficiary of all your hard work.
So the second big foundational habit is just this, knowing where your money is actually going. And look, this isn't about being restrictive or feeling guilty. It's just about awareness. It's a simple 4-step process. You pick a tool you like, you track every single expense, you take a look at it every month, and then you find and plug those little leaks. It's seriously like flipping a light switch in a dark room. All of a sudden, you can actually see the path forward.
Okay, our base camp is secure. Now, it's time to start the climb. This next set of habits, this is all about actively building momentum, gaining some real altitude on our journey to financial freedom.
Now this is such a simple but powerful distinction. On one side, you've got time in the market. That's all about consistency. It's the strategy that's proven to work over the long haul. On the other side, time-ing the market. And that's just a high-stakes guessing game, you know? It's driven by fear and greed. Wealthy people, they don't try to predict when it's going to rain. They just get busy building their ark, consistently.
So, how do you actually practice time in the market? Well, here's your gear for the climb. First, automate your investments. Set it and forget it. Make it consistent. Second, use simple, diversified tools. Think index funds or ETFs. They're basically just these low-cost baskets of stocks that let you own a tiny piece of the whole market. And probably most important of all, you have got to learn to ignore the daily noise, the scary headlines. Just focus on the long-term destination, not the turbulence you feel day to day.
And that brings us to what might be one of the most powerful habits in all of personal finance. This chart just shows it perfectly. Look, as your income goes up over time, and it will, the temptation is so strong to let your spending go up right along with it. A bigger house, a fancier car, you know the drill. But the real secret, the game changer, it's keeping your spending relatively flat. That gap that gets wider and wider between those two lines, that, my friends, is your wealth building zone. That's your freedom fund.
All right, so once you start gaining some real altitude, your perspective just changes. You can see a lot farther. This next stage of the climb is all about expanding your horizons. It's about diversifying your approach and building a financial life that's wider and way more resilient.
So, what's up with the number 7? Well, according to the research, that is the average number of income streams the typical millionaire has. 7. Think about it. Relying on just one paycheck, it's like trying to climb a mountain with just a single rope. Sure, it might work for a while, but it leaves you so vulnerable.
And hey, building these new streams doesn't mean you have to go get a second full-time job. Not at all. It could be as simple as leveraging a skill you already have to do some freelance work online, or maybe creating a digital product, or even just investing in dividend stocks, which are basically shares in companies that literally pay you a piece of their profits just for owning them. The goal here isn't to work yourself into the ground. It's to build systems that make money whether you're actively working or not.
Here's the thing. The financial world is always changing. The rules of the game for money, for taxes, for investing, they're always evolving. So the people who really get ahead, they're the ones who stay curious, the ones who never stop learning. You got to think of it like constantly studying the map and checking the weather patterns for your climb.
Okay, we've reached the summit. And from up here, the perspective is totally different. It's not about the next step up anymore. It's about looking out at that vast, wide horizon. This right here, this is the final, ultimate mindset shift. This is what separates the people who are temporarily rich from those who are generationally wealthy.
And this is it, the final, most crucial habit of all, long-term thinking. You know, it's about planting trees today, knowing you might not sit in their shade for a decade or more. It means every single financial decision you make gets filtered through one simple question. Does this serve my future self? It's the ultimate form of discipline, really, and it's powered by nothing more than patience and consistency.
Because at the end of the day, this is the ultimate choice you're making. Forget all those get-rich-quick schemes. The real prize here, it isn't some flashy car next year. It's the freedom, 20 years from now, to choose exactly how you spend your time. It's about building a life you love, not just building a bigger bank account. And so, that brings us to the end of our map. But really, it's the beginning of your journey. We've laid out the path, we've talked about the habits, but you know what? A map is completely useless until you take that first step. So after everything we've covered today, my question for you is, what is your first step going to be?